you know about the layer 2 switch, correct? Karthik Sriram, layer 2 switch is
Yes, yes, clear.
clear, na? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
See, the layer 2 switches are similar to bridges, okay? They interconnect networks at layer 2, most commonly at the MAC sublayer, and operate as bridges, building tables for the transfer of frames among networks. Historically, layer 2 switches aims to alleviate contention problem of shared media lines. So NIC LAN, Wi-Fi LAN network is clear with layer 2 switches. Sriram.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so lab exercise 1. Okay, basic show commands in layer 2 switch. Here is some description part. Okay, basic exercise to get familiar and understand the various. Know all about the privilege mode, default mode, config mode. Do you have any idea? Tagore and Karthikeya. Any idea about the config mode, privilege mode?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. So you we discussed a few days ago. So operating system, okay. For example, Windows 7 and Windows 10, Windows 11 is a operating same similar pair to switches having a operating system. Okay, that operating system based on Linux based, correct? See, enter into privilege mode. Then you type to show version command displays critical information such as switch platform type, operating system division, operating system time and file location, number of serial ID, vendor ID, product ID, etc. Then show interface brief command display information about each interface. This is a basic command of L2 switches to show what is in that interface. Fourth one is show running config displays the active configuration in memory. The currently active configuration script running on the switch is referred to as the running config in the switches. See, when you log in your switch layer to switch, okay. So first put username and password. That username password default is admin, right? So after you put username and password admin, then switch is in default mode. Okay, see the see the black graph and see the enable command. Okay, see. See this is the right arrow means a switch in default mode. Okay, Karthik Tagore, point clear at default mode.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Okay, so after that you need to first step is you need to enable. Okay, after you enable your switch is coming to privilege mode. So single hash, this is single hash means you are in privilege mode. Point clear hai?
Yes, sir.
See,
Privilege mode is a default mode.
no, after default mode.
Okay.
After enable, okay, after enable you get on that privilege mode. Okay. So this right arrow. Okay. See here is the first is written switch. Okay. SWITCH switch right arrow. So that is a default mode. After you enable, see, then you see the single hash. It means privilege mode. Correct? Clear the point?
Yes.
Okay. So in privilege mode, you need to type show version, show interface brief, show running config. Okay. Which information you need to show. Okay. So that you need to type show version, show interface brief, show running config. Whatever you see any information about the switch. Okay. See the black graph. Below is the show version command output in privilege mode. Okay. So see, welcome to ABPTL AS210T Ethernet switch. Okay. So this is Alpha Bridge platform. See, the first is the switch is default mode. Then we type enable. We go in privilege mode. So in privilege mode, we type show version. Correct. So after type show version, we see information Alphabet Technologies Private Limited, Internet Network Operating System, AS210T series. Okay, so version version 2.20D, build 91912, release software, copyright 2021 Alphabet. Okay, all rights reserved. This is a operating system information. Correct. See your ROM, system bootstraps version, hardware version, serial number, the system image file switch.bin. Okay, so your configuration file is switch.bin. Then after some bytes of memory, 31007K bytes of memory. Then flash memory also 16384K bytes of flash base Ethernet MAC address. See MAC address. This MAC address, yesterday we discussed. Point is clear about the MAC address. Tagore, Karthik, Sriram.
Yes.
Every network device having their unique MAC address, right?
Sir.
Okay. So show version is basically you need to information about the layer 2 switch. Okay. So this model is AS210T. Correct? This point is clear. Any issue and any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So after after login username admin and password admin, so you need to follow this command and the information. Okay. Now we next step. See the show interface brief. This command also in privilege mode because we need to see information about the interface brief. You know the interface. Anyone interface? What is interface? Switch interface. See, these are interface. Okay. Basically, I show some days ago Ethernet ports and SFP ports, right? So that is a G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6, G7, G8. Okay, and G9 and G10 is a SFP port. Karthik, you know na what is Ethernet and what is SFP port?
Yes, sir.
So 1 to 8 is a Ethernet port, okay, and 9 and 10 SFP port, and all ports are gigabyte, 1000 Mbps, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that called G1, G2. G means gigabyte, gig port, okay. So interface brief is a G1, status is down. By default, that port is with VLAN 1. Okay, duplex is auto, speed is auto, and type is GigaTX. TX means Ethernet port. TX, 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 TX. See, 1 to 8 type is a TX means Ethernet. Okay, point is clear. GigaTX and G01. Sriram and Tagore.
Yes, sir. Clear,
Okay. So see, port number 9 and 10 is a GigaFX. See, GigaFX. This is a SFP fiber port. Okay. So duplex is auto. Duplex is auto.
What is this G8 full?
Yes. G8 fulls means my laptop Cat6 cable is connected to port number 8. Okay. That means is connected means up. Status is up because this physically connected through my laptop, and other ports is down because they are not connected anymore.
Okay, so if I will connect my laptop to, can I do that to G4 and then it will show up there and let's start the down?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
correct. When that port 8, suppose port number 3 is up, okay, so your laptop cable is connected to port number 3, okay. Okay, clear this point, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. See that board is showing full 100 Mbps, sorry, 1000 Mbps. Okay, this is showing 1000 Mbps because my laptop LAN is 1000 Mbps. Okay, some laptops and some desktops having 100 Mbps LAN, so they show 100 Mbps. Okay, so that is a speed duplex. One is a first is a 100 Mbps, second is a 1000 Mbps. That is a duplex mode. So old laptop having 100 Mbps LAN and latest laptop having 1000 Mbps LAN. So that 1000 Mbps LAN called 1 gig LAN also. 1G LAN, that is. So point clear about the 100 Mbps and 1000 Mbps connectivity.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And what about the GigaTX? GigaTX means what?
Ethernet.
Okay. And
GigaNet Ethernet.
okay. And GigaFX means?
Fiber. It's fiber port.
Okay. And the duplex auto and speed auto?
It's showing speed duplex.
Okay. Okay, and status down and up. What is the difference?
It's showing it is connected or not.
Yeah, yeah. See the next, see the down area V1 and end 0. Okay, that is that is up. V1 and end 0. That is up. So V1 basically VLAN 1. See, VLAN 1, all port with VLAN 1. So any L2 switches, manageable L2 switches, okay, is a by default with VLAN 1. Okay, any switch. VLAN 1 is by default with all ports. That is a main thing. Note this point. Okay, VLAN 1. See, the next concept is show running config. This is also in privilege mode. Okay, so in privilege mode, you only type show commands. So show running, show interface brief, show version, etc. So show running config means what? See, this is a current configuration, version, hostname, spanning tree. Okay, so these are features means current configuration, hostname, alpha bridge, spanning tree. This is configured. Okay, this is some protocol has configured in switch. So that show in running config. Okay, so running config means whatever you configure in your switch, that see on with hostname, with spanning tree protocol, with version, with building configuration, etc. Okay, so clear the point about show running config. Sriram Tagore, Karthik.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, what is the command to this information in our laptop?
See, that is yesterday I discussed about the CMD. Okay, and second one is a putty software. Okay, so I training also login through Switch. Okay, so after this I training also that which command how to log in and how to type that. Okay,
Okay.
so next point. See, setting host name. This is a lab exercise 2, setting host name. See, enter into privilege mode. Okay, so in this before we default to privilege mode. Okay, so now we enter into privilege mode to global configuration mode. See, first default mode to enable. Okay, then privilege mode. This single hash is the privilege mode. The single right arrow is a default mode. Okay, and after that we we, type config. So then we in config mode means global configuration mode. Okay, see, this config show means you are in config mode, hostname alpha bridge. After that, you you put hostname alpha bridge. You also type hostname Tagore switch, hostname Karthik switch, hostname Sriram switch, etc. After that, you need to exit and show running config. Okay, so show running config. See alpha bridge. Okay, so your switch name is alpha bridge. After that, host name. See, first you are in default mode, then enable, then you are in privilege mode, then you type config, then you are in config mode, and then type host name alpha bridge. Correct? Point is clear about how to set host name. Anyone any doubts?
No, sir, no doubts.
No, sir. Not here.
No, sir.
This is the main thing. What you type and what you are in which mode. Default mode, privilege mode, and config mode. Okay, so these are main things. Third one is a lab exercise switch interface configuration. So switch interface configuration means our interface gigabyte port 1, gigabyte port 2, gigabyte port 9. Okay. Also interface VLAN. So that also interface VLAN will interface gigabyte 1, that is called interfaces. Interface configuration. So that this host name is a indication about the switch name. This is switch name. That called is alpha bridge. Okay. So now we said adding description in our switch interface. See description laptop A command output in config mode. See, first default mode, then we go with privilege, then config. Okay, after config, we type interface gigabyte Ethernet 1. Okay, so gigabyte Ethernet connected to this my laptop. So laptop A. So I given description laptop A. Okay. So after that you re-log in anytime this layer 2 switch. Okay, so you get information which port connected to laptop A. So gigabyte Ethernet connected to laptop A. Okay, clear this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this command is put in which mode? Anyone tell
Privilege mode,
Config.
sir.
which mode?
Sir, repeat the question.
This description laptop A command. Okay, insert in which mode?
Which mode?
Default
Config
mode,
mode.
privilege mode, or config mode.
Config mode.
And and how to go the config mode?
After the privilege mode.
Okay, after the privilege mode. How to go in privilege mode?
So what single hash?
No. Yes, that is single hash means privilege mode. So how to go in privilege mode?
with enable.
Okay, yes, that is the name, enable. You need to type enable. This is the main gateway of privilege mode. Okay,
Right arrow and enable. Wait.
what?
We have to type enable with the right arrow. Right.
Yes, yes, right arrow. Yes, right arrow means default mode.
Okay.
You switch in default mode means right arrow. That is the indication.
Okay.
And after right arrow, you need to type enable. Then you go with coming with privilege mode. Now create VLAN. Okay. So I before some time the see to see the these switch with all ports with VLAN 1 by default. Okay, by defaultly these switches carry with VLAN 1. Okay, so now we have need to create VLAN 100. Okay, you know what is a VLAN? Anyone know what is VLAN? Tagore, Karthik, Sriram.
Virtual local area network.
Huh?
Virtual WAN.
Okay, that is a full form. Okay, virtual LAN. Okay, so our single LAN is NIC card single LAN that is connected to switch through laptop. That is a LAN. And virtual LAN is a protocol which work on layer 2 switch. Okay, and layer 3 switch also. So we need to different VLAN for internet bandwidth, some group of our network area, enterprise area. So now I create VLAN 100. Okay, for Airtel 60 Mbps bandwidth. Okay, that that's why I configure VLAN 100 in my switch. See, the below is the VLAN 100 command output config mode. And name given Airtel 60 Mbps. See, I log in my switch, username by default admin, password admin. Okay. Then default mode to privilege mode to config mode. Okay, then config mode. I type VLAN 100. So VLAN 100 is successfully created in this switch and name given Airtel 60 Mbps. Okay. You also create VLAN 200 for Geo 20 Mbps. Okay. Also, you create VLAN 300 for my Office A network. So Office A network. Also, you name on that VLAN. So different VLAN is creating on their particular network, right? Clear the VLAN 100 point. How to create and what is that? And with okay, VLAN 1 is
VLAN 1 is a default and VLAN 100 is we did that.
okay. So we created for but why created VLAN 100? Why we created VLAN 100?
That we will use as the output.
Because we create a VLAN 100 network, okay, for Airtel 60 Mbps bandwidth. Okay. So sometimes our G1 port, okay, so G1 port is work with Airtel 60 Mbps bandwidth, okay. So that gig 1 port is member of VLAN 100. So VLAN 100 and gig 1 port is work with Airtel 60 Mbps bandwidth, 60 Mbps bandwidth, okay. So assume G2, that G2 port is a member of VLAN 1. So that port is can't communicate with Airtel 60 Mbps bandwidth. Okay, so that is a difference. That's why we create this particular VLAN for particular area, particular bandwidth, particular shared bandwidth, shared network. That's the reason of this VLAN types. Correct?
Just to
Sir,
continue.
VLAN 1 supports Airtel 660 Mbps.
No. VLAN 1 is a by default VLAN. We create Airtel 60 Mbps bandwidth for VLAN 100. Okay. So VLAN 100 and VLAN 1, these can't communicate to each other. Okay. They are separate.
Okay.
Can't interfere with each other. That's why I separate segment and create VLAN 100 for this dedicated line.
Okay, just for an example, like if the Airtel has two, three different outputs, right? 60
Yes.
Mbps, maybe 100 Mbps, and then 500 Mbps. So
Yes.
we can put like the 60 Mbps on the first G1, the
Yes.
100 is on second, and the 500 is on third, G3. It's like that.
Yes.
Okay.
But that condition, you need to create VLAN for that. 60 Mbps for VLAN 100, 40 Mbps for VLAN 200, and VLAN 300 for 5 Mbps. Okay, you need to create VLAN for this particular links.
I got it. But this VLAN 100, why we need this 100? Why not we can say this is VLAN 60 for 60 Mbps? Why is it 100?
Yes, because
Like,
because uh,
yeah, sorry, you go.
yes, so that's why I created this VLAN, this link purpose, this because that is our need. Okay, Airtel 60 Mbps, because this is 60 Mbps for VLAN 100. So we go with port number one with VLAN 100, and that connected to 60 Mbps link. That's why.
I'm just saying, like, isn't like much easier for us to understand, like, if the 60 Mbps is coming. So
Yes,
instead of VLAN 100, we can just say VLAN 60. So we remember, okay, the 60 Mbps coming on this VLAN.
VLAN 60. Yes. You can VLAN 60.
Okay, so that's
No,
up to us,
that
like,
is a
whatever
VLAN
name we
100
want.
is a VLAN 100 is a for example. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay. You create VLAN 60 for 60 Mbps. You create
Okay,
VLAN 100 for 100 Mbps. Okay.
okay, I
That
got it.
is
Yeah,
easy.
okay,
That is a easy way
okay,
for you for remember.
okay.
Okay. So VLAN, we know VLAN, we create VLAN 100, but that VLAN 100 is reachable or not. Okay. Okay, so I have desktop, I have laptop. Okay, so I connected that switch on VLAN 100. So I need to give IP address for that particular VLAN 100, VLAN 60, VLAN 200, whatever. But need to IP address. Okay, to reach connectivity. Correct. See, the IP address is 192.168.1.100 for this IP address for this VLAN 100. You know about the IP address yesterday I discussed. What is the use for IP address? Yesterday we discussed Tagore, Karthik, and Sriram.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so this IP address we ping this IP address for VLAN 100. So the ping is properly to port number 1. So VLAN 100 is reachable. No doubts. Okay. So we go ahead with this reachability, IP reachability. See, again I log in my switch username admin, password admin, default to privilege mode to config mode, then type interface VLAN 100, then we need to give IP address on VLAN 100. So interface VLAN 100, IP address 192.168.1.100 and 255.255.255. This IP address is private or public? Sriram Tagore, Karthik.
It's private, I guess, because you have created it.
Yes, correct. Right. So because this is private, because I also given 2.100, I also given 4.200, whatever. Okay. So this is a private
Yes,
address.
sir.
Yes. 1.100 for my VLAN 100 testing purpose. I given this IP address. Okay. So point is clear about the VLAN and VLAN IP address. Any doubts? Any question?
No, sir.